Yo, 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 yo. Guys, we have an emergency situation, man. An emergency situation. And it's not a good situation. It's really not a good situation whatsoever. Chat, we could be mudded. Chat, we could be fucking mudded. I'm looking at the breaking news right now, and if you've not seen it this morning, the Premier League have charged Manchester City with numerous breaches of financial rules following a 4-year investigation. The Premier League say in accordance with Premier League Rule W82.1, the Premier League confirms that it has today referred a number of alleged breaches of Premier League rules by Manchester City to a commission under the Premier League. Man City could face a points deduction after being charged by the Premier League over numerous breaches of financial rules. Man City could face a range of sanctions, including Premier League points deduction or expulsion from the league. Expulsion from the league. What the flaming shit has gone on, man? What the hell has gone on, man? This is fucked. This is insane. What the hell? This is absolutely incredible. Incredible. Let me click on the actual statement itself. This is not the news you want to wake up to on a fucking Monday morning after you've just lost a game 1-0. Okay, so guys, I've got the information here, yeah? Details of the Premier League rules that the club is alleged to have breached are as follows. In respect of seasons 2009-2010 to 2017-2018, so about 8 years there, 9 years or whatever, the Premier League rules applicable in those seasons required provision by a member club to the Premier League in utmost good faith of accurate financial information that gives a true and fair view of the club's financial position. In particular, with respect to its revenue, including sponsorship revenue, its related parties and operating costs. So I guess that the Premier League is saying that Manchester City in those seasons did not give a true and fair view of the club's financial position or its related parties and or its operating costs. So they're either saying that Manchester City have said, oh, this is how much it costs to run our club, and that's not true. They've underestimated it. They've said, these are all the related parties. That's not true. There's other related parties that they've not disclosed, or they've just outright lied about their revenue. That's the only thing I can see based on the statement there. And then it also says, each of the seasons, 2009-2010 to 2012-2013, the Premier League rules applicable in those seasons require a member club to include full details of a manager's remuneration in its relevant contracts with its manager. So this seems to suggest to me that the Premier League are alleging that Manchester City have not included full details of Roberto Mancini's wage in the contract with the manager. Therefore, the Premier League cannot establish how much Roberto Mancini was paid, what his salary was, all that kind of shit, man. Yo, big up Hart for the donation. Also, Chelsea are allowed to get away with this. Well, listen, that's different. That's different. We got to focus on ourselves here, brother. We got to focus on ourselves, man. We got to get the lawyers in. We got to get the Harvey Specter in, innit? Saeed TV with the 449 says, give me back all our titles now. bro, we're innocent, man. We're fucking innocent and proven guilty, innit? What are you saying? Why come out with that guilty attitude, bro? What are you fucking on about? So yeah, that's what that rule seems to be, in my view, is that I don't think that's that bad, to be honest with you. That one. The first one's pretty bad, you know, because well, it depends. This could be blown way out of proportion. So, for example, yeah, if we've lied about our revenue, like, that depends on that. Well, how have you lied about the revenue? Have you got it a little bit wrong, or have you fucking like outright lied? Have you said that you're earning 500 million a year when you're not? But also, the accounts have to be audited. Accounts have to be audited. You can't just say, oh, we've earned 500 million, there you go. They get audited by like big fucking corporations, man. You know what I'm saying? Big accounting firms. So what have they done? Have they just outright lied? Surely not. I think where we probably breached this on, let's be honest, is it's related parties. I reckon what we've probably done there is not disclosed sponsorship revenue that has come from what the Premier League deem to be related parties. That's what I would assume that to be. That for me ain't really that bad of a breach, but it's a breach nonetheless. The Premier League one regarding Roberto Mancini. So again, what that's telling me in the 5 minutes that I've had to review this since I've been awake is that City have not accurately and clearly disclosed what Roberto Mancini's salary was in the contract with the manager. Further, they've probably not done the same with the players. So what the Premier League could allege then is we don't know how much you're paying your players, and that's a breach of the rule, which is clearly a rule. So yeah, again, how bad is that? How bad is that? Is that a bad thing? I mean, yeah, all right, you're not following the rules, I get that, but it's not like a fucking major thing, you know what I'm saying? Oh, so it doesn't clearly don't clearly say how much he gets paid. Like, yeah, all right, it's a breach of the rules, but it ain't like you fucking bare cheated, innit? Eric with a 2 says Haaland game winner against Ipswich Town to steal League One title. I will be there no matter what. Okay, so then we got more breaches. Fucking hell. In respect of each of the seasons in 2013 to 2018, the Premier League rules applicable in those seasons required a member to comply with UEFA's regulations. Okay, so basically they're saying because you've breached FFP rules in UEFA, you breach Premier League rules. Right, whatever. Yeah? We already know that was probably going to be a thing. In respect of seasons 2015 to 2018, the Premier League rules applicable in those seasons on profitability and sustainability. Right, okay, so they said we lost too much money, right? Fairs. We probably knew that was true. And the fifth thing that we broke, in respect to the period 2018 to date, the Premier League rules applicable in the relevant seasons required a member to cooperate with and assist the Premier League. So again, we've not been cooperating with the Premier League's investigation. That's why it's taken 5 years. So we breached rules. So actually, okay, so if you break this down, how many things have City actually done wrong here? 5/6, because 1 is kind of 2, but it's under 1 heading. There's 5 things that Manchester City are alleged to have breached here. A couple of them are completely like kind of BS. Okay, so if we go through the BS ones, City didn't cooperate. Well, we knew we wouldn't cooperate. We didn't cooperate with UEFA. Why would we cooperate with the Premier League? We're probably going to get a fine for that. Maybe a big slap on the wrist. But if Manchester City feel that these investigations are not legitimate, or they've been initiated due to what they would call improper tip-offs, i.e. like hacks or people just moaning, and therefore the Premier League have started an investigation. Unless the Premier League have started this investigation because they've got like legitimate evidence to do so, based on legitimate them getting that evidence legitimately rather than by hacked information, then they're not going to cooperate. So that is kind of like I don't really give a fuck about that one. But they're probably going to get fined for it. Point 4. City weren't profitable. City were losing too much money in 2015, 2017. Right, okay. So basically just a standard breach of FFP. That's what I take from that. Yeah, okay, no problem. We're probably going to get fined for that. You might see a squad reduction. I very much doubt that you're going to see a some sort of points deduction in respect of, 2 years of not being profitable enough. I'd highly doubt that. So again, I would say that one's not too much of an issue. City breached the FFP in UEFA's FFP regulations. Well, we already knew we breached that. We already knew that we breached that. Remember, we had a reduced squad size under Pep. It was under Pellegrini. We had a reduced squad size, so we already knew that. But they're saying because you breached that, you've also breached the Premier League rule. So that's again kind of like don't really mean much. And then you come to the kind of ones that could be more serious. So you've got you've got 2 left, but obviously in one of them you've kind of got 2. So you've got the City have not included Roberto Mancini's salary in their contract because that's what they're alleging us to breach. But they've also not done that with players or a player. So again, you've got to ask yourself, okay, so how bad is that? Is that bad? How bad is that? So you've not clearly defined how much a player is going to be getting paid or a manager is going to be getting paid in the contract with the club. Okay, well, that ain't great. You know what I mean? One, it's a breach of the rule. And 2, you don't know how much they're paying. So if the Premier League wanted to audit those things, well, they don't know how much you're paying them because you've not put it in the contract. So again, yeah, it's that seems like not great, but it also seems to me like, is it really that fucking bad? Doesn't seem that bad to me. But again, it depends how serious you're taking these things. And then the other stuff is City have either not given a genuine revenue figure, so they've lied about the revenue. Okay, so if that's true, how much have they lied about, or was it a simple mistake? All that kind of shit. Or they've not disclosed their related parties, so they've not said basically, oh, this sponsor is related to Sheikh Mansour or whatever, right? That's basically what they're saying there. Or they've lied about their operating costs, so if they've done that, they've probably underestimated their operating costs and say it costs us cheaper to run the club than it actually does. So, what do we think about this one? In conclusion, where are we at with this? I'll tell you where we're at. It's time to get the fucking lawyers in, Calhoun. Seriously, I don't really see here. The only way for me, that Manchester City get absolutely fucked with this is if they've lied about their revenue or their operating costs. That's it, because I'm looking at, okay, you've not properly disclosed a related party. Okay, you've not disclosed a related party. But was that sponsorship genuine? If the answer to that is yes, then it's really not a big deal. Yeah, you should have disclosed it's a related party, but it's really not a big deal. You've not said in your contracts how much you're getting paid properly, or you've not made it clear. Right, so what? Yeah, all right, sorry, I should have done that. Doesn't seem to me like a big deal. That the big ones are, have the football club lied about their revenue? Now, we've got some breaking news coming out right now. Mike Keegan from the Daily Mail, close to Manchester City, I would say he's a pretty good source on this. Manchester City intend to robustly defend themselves in the Premier League charges against them. Manchester City intend to robustly defend themselves against the Premier League charges. They feel that they've not done nothing wrong here and they're going to defend themselves. However, if they do not defend themselves and City get found guilty on this, Manchester City could receive a points deduction, or they could be kicked out of the Premier League. They could be kicked out the Premier League. Amar says, I will be able to prove my non-plasticness now. So guys, come on, man. I want your comments on this. What we saying? DJ and One City's lawyers will be all over this. That's what it seems like. Caldoon, Common W, incoming yet again. Defo won't be punished until at least next season. Well, that's a good point by Charlotte. Guys, this is going to drag on now for quite some time. And it's also important to mention the sentence at the bottom of the Premier League statement. This is what it says. The proceedings of the commission that will hear these alleged charges will be held in confidential and be private. The final award will be published on the Premier League's website. This confirmation is made in accordance with Premier League rule. The Premier League will be making no further comment in respect of this matter until further notice. And I would imagine that when Pep Guardiola gets absolutely bombarded with questions in the press conference on Saturday, or Friday, or Thursday, whatever it is, they will also make no comment on this. Sell Grealish, 100 million, give it to the Premier League, all sorted, says Goku. Hart says, even if we go to League 2, I'm City till I die, not a plastic. Oh, yeah, mate. Listen. On a real, yeah, you want me to know what, you want to know my honest opinion, yeah? You want to know my honest opinion on this, right? I think we probably breached a few of them rules. But for me, it's which rules have we breached? Because some of them rules there, like, they're much ado about nothing. Yeah, what? We breached the UEFA rules. So basically, what I'm taking out of Rule 3 is if you breach the UEFA rules, you've automatically breached Premier League rules. Right, okay. Right, well, that's fine. We already knew we breached UEFA rules. We got done for it. We got punished for that. So I don't really see Premier League being able to do too much. Otherwise, then you're being punished twice, yeah? But maybe they can do a little bit, whatever. That's not an issue. City weren't profitable enough in 2015 to 2018. Right, okay, so basically an FFP breach. Okay. Right, what we're talking here, right? You know what I mean? Whatever. City have not cooperated. Okay, we didn't cooperate with UEFA. We got a £10 million fine. We got a £10 million fine for not cooperating with UEFA. So I would suspect the Premier League are going to do something similar to that. So we're going to get a fine. Right, cool, whatever. The big ones for me, as I've said, there's two big ones. Point number one. Have Manchester City lied about their revenue? If so, how much have they lied by? Did they actually like fully lie? Or was it just like a bit of a mistake? Like, you know, I mean, they've got to understand that. Did they disclose sponsorship coming from related parties, i.e. Shape and Soul? And or did they lie about operating costs? Did they say it costs us less to run the club than it did? That's a big one. That for me is a big one. And then the other one is just, you clearly didn't define how much players and managers were getting paid within their contracts. Okay, right, so is that a bad thing? How bad is that? I don't really know. To me, that seems like, okay, yeah, you breached a rule, but it doesn't really seem that bad to me. Like, it's one of them, like, how bad is that? There's 100 breaches. Yeah, no. Yeah, nah, but that's like... that. Yeah, but guys, they're all like similar, you know what I'm saying? So, for season 2010, Premier League rules B13, C78, C78... Yeah, I mean, this is the shit that happens, man. But it's broken down into this. What do I think will happen? I think we'll get a big fine. I don't think that a points deduction is off the cards, depending on what we've done. We won't get kicked out of the league, no fucking chance. But yeah, I just fucking don't know. And I don't know how long this is going to go on for. I would suspect that this would go on for quite some time. Lingy Boy says, can't have a normal day as a City fan. That's very true. And Alex says, how will it affect our season, LB? Well... That's a good question. How will it impact our season? You know, I don't know. Benno says, bring on easier tickets, away days. Exactly, not worried. Yeah, you know what it is, like, depends on it, because you don't really know. It's just a little bit fucked, you know? It's difficult to say exactly like what's going to happen from this because we don't have a full things. Olu says non-disclosure of coach player payments means you can keep expenses off your books. It means profits look better and looks good for FFP. Well, if that's what they're alleging, yeah, that is true. I'm only going off the statement, yeah? And obviously, unless you've got the rule book in front of you and you can break down each individual rule, like Premier League rules 15, E.3, or Premier League rule 16, E.5, E.11, and E.51. Like, literally, I ain't got the time for that, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got time to go fucking through this book, yeah? I'm just going off the statement. And Brian, you got a good point there. You got a good point, Brian. Listen, we got done by UEFA. We went to CAS, and CAS were like, "What the fuck you on about? You ain't done nothing wrong." And CAS threw it out. You know, you said you ain't got no evidence. So they won against UEFA. Obviously, City intend to defend this. Are City going to be able to defend this? You know what I'm saying? I need City to come out with chest now. Obviously, Mike Keegan has said that Man City intend to robustly defend themselves against the Premier League charges. Let me tell you something, that's come directly from the football club. So the football club is saying directly that they're going to defend themselves robustly against these charges. So shall we define what that means? Let's search Google for robust. Dictionary, English dictionary. Robust means strong-willed, adamantly, aggressively, hard-boiled, pig-headedly, purposefully, aggressively, purposefully, pushy, unbending, unrelenting, unyielding. It's so fucked, guys, man. I can't wait until like the day that just Manchester City have just got over this FFP shit. We don't have to deal with it anymore, man, because it's stressing me out, man. You know? This could take a long time. This could take a long time. If you think this is going to be over in a couple of weeks, I think you're wrong, man. I think this is going to something that's going to be dragged out for a long time. Manchester, now the charge has been made. Manchester City will get the best lawyers in the world, and they will get, you know, they will look to try and get this thrown out. They will say whatever, you know what I mean? They believe they're innocent, then they will get it done. And or even if they don't know if they're innocent or what, or they're not prepared to comment on their innocence, if they believe that this statement or this investigation by the Premier League has started because of hacked material or started in a way that they shouldn't have been allowed to start the investigation, they'll get it thrown out. Regardless of what they believe about their innocence. They're all about due process. And if they feel that due process has not been followed during this investigation or in the start of this investigation, it's good night Vienna to the charge, you know? Lily says, alarmist or not, the sheer extent of the Premier League charges are at a level that, if found proven, must lead to relegation. It depends which ones though, innit? It depends which ones, because, like, you know what I mean? What about if we're innocent on 1 to 4 and we just didn't cooperate? Then they're not going to kick us out of the league just for not cooperating, because UEFA didn't kick us out of this competition for not cooperating. We're just going to get a fine. It all depends on what we've done. Are we going to get guilty on all of these charges? Well, if we get guilty on all the charges, then yeah, we might get kicked out of the league, but surely we won't. Massam says, forget about signing Jude Bellingham. I don't know about that. I think what you could do is, if you sign Jude Bellingham, you just put a clause in the contract and say, look, if we get kicked out of the Premier League, like, yeah, I mean, you're going to have to do that anyway, you know, because they have their own FFP. So you put a contract in the sign it. If we get kicked out of the Premier League, you can go on a free, or you're going to have to do some shit like that. I don't know. Kyan says, they had 4 years of investigation. I doubt they would make allegations without evidence. Well, Kyan, okay, so my question to you on that is, how have they got evidence if City haven't cooperated? City have not cooperated with this investigation. So if they've not cooperated with the investigation, how have they got the evidence? Have they got it from hacked information? Are they just using previously submitted accounts and reports, or previously submitted contracts? Like, what they're saying here? By not cooperating, it added another charge. Yeah, but if City don't feel that they should have to cooperate, if City are going, This investigation's a load of bullshit. You know what I mean? You have no grounds to investigate us on anything. Why are you investigating us? You know? Then they're probably like, fuck yous, we're not cooperating. You know what I mean? If the police just turned up at your house now and was like, yo, we want to go through all your personal documentation. You're like, what? Why? Because we do. I mean, you're just going to let them in and say, alright, do you have a warrant? Nah. Are you illegally allowed to do this? Nah. Right, well, you're not coming in, innit? You know what I mean? Go through the proper channels. And then even if they sit there going through the documentation, if they're asking me questions and I don't think they should be there, I'm going to sit there and go, I don't want to, I'm going to plead the fifth. I'm going to plead the fifth, man. Man City pleaded the fifth. Man City plead the fifth. We prefer not to speak. We prefer not to speak. That's what it is. That's what it is. Off Meta, Professor would have fired Man City exist. FFP, how dare you? While Chelsea spent 300 million in January. FFP, man. It is a little bit frustrating. It is a little bit frustrating, man. It is a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. You know, we got to deal with what we got to deal. We got to focus on our own self right now. We got to get ourselves out of this mess, innit? You know what I mean? Yeah, but Ken, I completely disagree with that. If we've innocent, City should have cooperated. No, I disagree with that on a fundamental principle point of view. If you don't believe that the authorities have gone through due process and have got the right to do that investigation, then no, don't cooperate. I don't go. I mean, this is obviously everyone's got their own opinion on this, right? But I'm not someone who's like, if you're innocent, just cooperate. No. If you've gone through proper processes and you followed the proper processes and you're investigating me legitimately, then I'll cooperate. But if you just turn up at my house and go, oh yeah, we're checking your shit, I'm not going to cooperate, regardless if I'm innocent or not, because I'm going to be like, you don't have a right to do this, you don't have a right to be here, you don't have a right to investigate my shit, so no, I'm not cooperating. Regardless if I'm innocent or not. I guess that is obviously, clearly, a personal opinion, you know. And you know, people will be like, well, I'd just cooperate if I was innocent. Right, well, okay, well, that's up to you, innit? But I wouldn't. Someone just knocked at my door and was like, I'm going through all your docs. No, well, all right, but I'm not fucking speaking to you about it. I'm not answering your questions because that's not fair. That's not right. You're not following proper processes, isn't it? Big up Darren with a super chat. Absolutely pathetic. Soriano has to go. He's let this drag on too long. Pathetic. Made us look like absolute mugs. Well, the reason it's dragged on for so long, Darren, is because we've not cooperated. But I would assume, though, that's a decision of the board, the whole board. I would assume that's Khaldoon, Ferran, Tiki. I would assume that's the whole board that have agreed to not cooperate, not just him. So if you think he has to go, in my opinion, I think they'd all have to go, not just him. But I think we have to wait until the outcome. You know, what about if it comes back and again, just like UEFA? I mean, that cash report was pretty conclusive. There was no evidence of third party related sponsorships. That's what it said in the report. You know, so I think it's one of them, man. You just have to sort of wait it out and see what happens. But this is going to go on for a long time. City are not just going to go, yeah, let's sort this out next week, lads. They're going to go, okay, we're going to get the best lawyers in the business. We're going to give them all the information. We're going to have to get there'll be a full report. Obviously, we've just seen the statement from the Premier League. There'll be a full report by the Premier League detailing how they've alleged that we breached each individual rule. They'll have to go through each and every one of them. City will then work out whether they're innocent or guilty, and if they're guilty, because then what they'll do is, even if they're guilty, they'll go, okay, if we're guilty on that particular rule, how have they got to that conclusion? How have they obtained the evidence? How have they obtained the evidence? Have they got it by a hacker? Okay, well, we'll challenge that because you've got it by a hacker, you've got it by illegitimate means. You know, City will want to make sure that this report and this, Mike Keegan's just said, expulsion is among the Commission's panel potential penalties should City be found guilty. So the Commission that's reviewing this has the ability to kick City out of the league. However, he also said this could take years to come to a conclusion. Years. The charges against the reigning champions relate to financial information regarding revenue, details of manager and player remuneration, UEFA regulations, profitability and sustainability, and cooperation with Premier League investigations. Exactly what I've just said, you know what I mean? A statement from the league, blah, blah. Blah, blah. Yeah. So that's it. And people are saying, oh, it's 100. Right, listen, yeah. Pretty much, if you breach one rule, you also breach another rule. So it's saying it's 100 makes it sound 100 times worse than it actually is. It's basically 5 things that we've breached. Yeah, I mean. But this is going to take years, man. This is going to take absolute years to settle, in my view. This is going to take years, man. Because obviously City is saying we're going to, defend this. Yeah, exactly, Killian there. Big up Killian, man. They're counting all the rules breached, so you're breaching multiple rules within the same breach, correct? That's why 100 things sound a lot. You say, oh, you breached 100 rules. That's just BS, man. That makes it sound a lot worse than it actually is. You breached 5 things. 5, maybe 6 if you want to class the manager and the players as a separate thing. There's 5 things that you breached over a period of time. And with each breach, you might, whilst breaching one rule, you might have breached another rule by doing the same shit. Like, the fact is, there's 5 things that we've not done. And a couple of them are kind of like, I ain't asked anyway, you know what I mean? I kind of rate that City didn't cooperate. Albi, right, okay, so this is a really good comment. This is a really, really good comment from Albi, right? He says, LB, the City haven't said anything. The fans deserve a statement. Okay, so the problem that you've got there, Albi, is that Manchester City, right, can't say shit right now. Can't say shit because they're in the middle of an investigation. They're in the middle of being charged. We have to defend ourselves, right? So the only statement that Manchester City can possibly give you is a one-line statement that says, Manchester City note the charges and statement released by the Premier League today and intends to fully defend itself against all allegations made. The club will make no further statement at this time. That is the statement that they will release. That is the statement that they will release. They ain't going to say, they ain't going to say, Premier League, you fucking charged us. Don't worry, lads. We're innocent. We're gonna prove this in court of law. We'll take this to the top. You know what I mean? Super court. Here we come. Trust in the badge. Kiss the badge. Man City till I die. They're not gonna do that, bro. They ain't gonna do that. All they're gonna say is, we note the charges. Man City intends to fully defend themselves. They'll make no further statement at this time. That is what they will say. So I kind of get it. You want to hear a statement. You want to hear something from the club. But the statement will just be arsed anyway. And basically, the statement is from Mike Keegan. If you want the statement, go to Mike Keegan. Mike Keegan's got the statement. Man City intend to robustly defend themselves against Premier League charges. That is the City statement. That is what City say. That is our statement. Just City haven't done it directly on the website. They've done it through Mike Keegan. But that you're not going to get like a proper statement. Is this for sponsorship fraud? I don't know if fraud is the right thing to say. I think that's a bit of a strong word, but one of the things that they're alleging that we've done, one of the things that they could have, they've kind of banded it together. So I'm not sure if it means that we've done this or this is just part of the rule. They say that we've seemingly inflated or something about the revenue. We've not given a fair and true, accurate position of the revenue of the football club, its related parties and operating costs. So maybe they've inflated sponsorship revenue or some shit like that. But again, how have you got that information? If City haven't cooperated, how have you managed to work that out? You know what I mean? So how have they got that? How have they got that information? If the City haven't given them, how do they know? How do they know? How do they know how much Etihad have paid us? How do they know, innit? You know what I'm saying? Unless they have our invoices from Etihad, which the only ones that I seen was the emails that were leaked, but that was from hacked information. What's the difference between this charge and the one that got us banned in UEFA? I think UEFA focused mainly on the sponsorship, where the sponsorship came from, how much did the sponsors actually pay, how much came from Sheikh Mansour, all that kind of shit. This seemingly goes on a little bit more. They've obviously added the stuff in about the Premier League manager salary, the player manager salary. It came from a hacker. Can they do anything to us? Well, this is I guess this is a decision. If this information's come from a hacker, I guess this is a moral point of view, and everyone will have their own opinions on this. So you'll either sit on the side of when something gets when someone's been investigated for a crime or a civil matter, all evidence should come from legally obtained evidence, right? And if you've got evidence from hacked information or illegally obtained information, then that shouldn't be admitted. We live in a democratic country that has rules and regulations, and for the authorities to do something, then they should have to follow rules, and they shouldn't just be allowed to go around hacking people and getting information to charge them with, right? And then other people will go, well, I don't give a fuck if they've committed the crime. I don't care how they got that information. If they got the information, you know what I mean, by putting a gun to someone's head and getting the information, then that's fine. They've breached the rules. I don't care how they got the evidence. They should be charged, right? So I guess it depends on what side of the coin you stand on. But I would just say if you're going for that view of I don't care how the evidence come on from, for me that's a very dark path that you're going down. Because what would stop Manchester City going, okay, well what we'll do is we'll pay some guy to hack Man United, hack Liverpool, hack Chelsea, and we'll get all their emails. And then if we find something, we'll pass that, you know what I mean? Like, oh, because that's fine. We shouldn't hack, it's illegal to hack. But if we get something, then that's fine, they can use it. Like, that's a very dark path to go down. I guess it depends on your sort of moral compass, really. Sir Alan, with an 8, says 98 charges, we are screwed. Yeah, but again, Alan, I don't know if you've just joined. That sounds a lot worse than it actually is. There are effectively 5 things that they've alleged us doing over a period of time. But there's 5 things, you know what I mean? So if you look at the cooperation, right? We've not cooperated with the Premier League. That's one thing, we've not cooperated. However, in this whole, we've done 100 things wrong. That accounts for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So out of the 100 things, 30 of the 100 are just sitting not cooperating. So I would just say, forget about the 100 things. That's a stupid figure. Just there's 5 things that we've done wrong. 5 things over a period of years. Goku with a 5 says, Bray, when United was winning Premier League every season, they weren't charged at all. Why City? UEFA has nothing better to do. Well, this is actually the Premier League this time, Goku. This isn't UEFA. But clearly they've got a bee in the bonnet. Could have come from an ex-player or employee. Okay, so whistleblowing, so that's fine. That ain't no problem. That someone's whistle blown, that's cool. No, you can't break the law to prove the law, says Chris. Well, that's my sort of stance on it. But again, people will have their own sort of moral compass on this, and people will be like, I don't give a fuck how they got the information. If you broke the law, you broke the law. Get them in prison and whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I also think it kind of depends on the nature of the crime, right? But let's be honest, this is all because FFP is a load of shite. FFP is a load of shite. FFP is a load of shite. Do you know what I mean? FFP is a load of shite for everyone. I've always said this. You know what's funny? I always say this, right, because it's funny and it's also sad at the same time. Basically, you know that the big clubs control media. And media have been telling everyone that Man City FFP breach is bad, Man City bad for Premier League, Man City bad for football, blah, 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 blah. The media is run by the clubs. The league is run by the clubs, right? If you support a team in the lower league or in the lower divisions and you support FFP, you are a fool. Because all FFP does is close the door on clubs getting into that next step. If you support Wigan, you will never see Wigan ever win the Premier League. Never see it. Never. Because with FFP, an owner can't come in and just start splashing cash around because of FFP. That's dead. That's dead. As a City fan who saw City when they were shit, yeah, under Pearce, dead. You know what I mean? Dead football. As I say, I'm now seeing, not at the moment, but I normally see good football. I want other clubs to be bought. I want Newcastle to be bought and tear it up and spend cash and get themselves in the top 4 and challenge for the Premier League. Why? Because it's good for the game. I don't want Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea and United just to be the teams for the rest of time, to be the teams that can compete because they make their own money. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit if they make their own money? I mean, if you support Brentford or Bradford or I don't even fucking know, Wrexham, an owner should be able to come in and say, I'm going to spend all this money and we're going to get ourselves into the top division and give those fans something to dream about. If you support a team in League 2, League 1 and you have a sort of dream about winning the Premier League one day, it's dead. It's a dead dream. Because you're not going to be able to do it without cash. And FFP limits how much an owner can spend, and that's dead. And then say, yeah, but you can spend what you can earn, right? But you need to get money in the club. To get money in the club, you need to be doing well. You need to be in the biggest competitions. So you need to be in the Champions League. Well, how do you get in the Champions League? Spending money. Oh, but you can't spend money because you've not got the revenue. Yeah, but I can't get the revenue unless I get in the Champions League. So then sponsors pay me money. It's completely ridiculous, man. And I think it's really sad. I think if you're a fan of a team that's not in the sort of top 6 in English football and you support FFP, I think you're a fool, and I think you've been brainwashed by the media. I do. Because it means that you're probably never going to see your team win maybe even a trophy, because it'll just be the top clubs. Whereas if FFP wasn't a thing, you can always dream that one day your club will get bought by a billionaire and the person will come in and just start splashing cash around, and you'll go on this amazing journey of growth as a club, and you can maybe see your team win a trophy, which, by the way, is absolutely incredible. And FFP limits that. It's really sad, man. It's really sad. Yet people have been brainwashed into thinking it's a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Look at Bury. Bury are now gone. There's been countless other clubs that have gone. There's been countless other clubs that have nearly been bust. Why don't you focus on stopping owners coming in the league who don't have the cash? You know what I mean? Why don't you focus on dodgy owners instead of FFP, which all you're trying to do is protect the big clubs. That is all it is. That is all it is. And don't let anyone tell you that that's not what it is. That's all it is for. It's to protect the big clubs. It's to protect the Man Uniteds of this world, the Liverpools. That's all it is. And right now, actually, once City get through this, it will be to protect Manchester City, because Manchester City are now there. They got under the drawbridge before it closed. But everyone else, nah, you ain't doing it. You ain't doing it. You're not going to be able to do it, because you're going to have to spend money. And you can't spend money with FFP because it's dead. Let's have a look. Off Meta with a 5 says Premier League stated that some charges relate to revenue, including sponsorship revenue, its related parties and its operating costs. Correct. So are they saying it's all 3 of those, or are they saying that's like the rule and they've just quoted the rule? I don't know. That's probably for me their worst one. That's the worst one, but how have they got that evidence? Joe says, why is everyone focused on Chelsea? Probably because they're spending cash at the moment, bro. Probably got something to do with the £500 million in 6 months. Alan with an 8 says they must be certain of their facts. They've waited a long time to announce this. They might be certain, but they also might just be like, this is the best we've got. Let's get them, Let's see what they've got. Obviously, we won't know until the outcome. Zeno says Premier League won court ruling versus Man City to get their docs. Yeah, of course, there was a court ruling. That is true. That could have something to do with it. You're right there, Zeno. Good comment. Alan says, if we get done for anything, I'm done with football. I've been a fan since 1971. Well, I guess we'll have to see what we get done for. Of course, City are robustly going to defend this according to Mike Keegan. Yeah, got some more information coming through here actually, guys. Big up Wally Uddin, says if City come out of this, they should look into the Premier League. City won't retaliate. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that's a dangerous move to go down. Mike Miney, reporter at BBC Radio Manchester and BBC Radio Sport says this. He says Manchester City face possible charges ranging from reprimand. What the fuck does that mean? Reprimand. A formal expression of disapproval. Right, we'll take the reprimand. That sounds pretty chill. Unlimited fines and suspension from the Premier League or a points deduction. It ain't looking good, Brev. It ain't looking good out here, you know. It's not looking good out here at all, man. Pain, man, pain. Ah, oh, fucking hell, man. Fucking hell. Stressful out here being a City fan, you know. Stressful out here. It really is. It really is. Yeah, I just seen that Discord comment, bro. That's a different rule. That won't be the rule. Because the rules change year by year, so that's not the same thing, bro. Yeah, reprimand is like a slap on the wrist, man. We'll take that. We'll take that. We'll take that. We'll take the slap on the wrist, innit? Yeah, we'll take the slap on the wrist. You guys been bad, innit? Manchester City are on a naughty step. Points deductions are painful. You know, points deductions are painful, and of course... Yeah, so basically, this all started, right, in 2018, when a Portuguese hacker called Rui Pinto hacked Manchester City, apparently, and released the information to Der Spiegel. So this is the question. This is the question. This is the question that you got to ask yourself. Is that right? Should you be able to deal with shit based on hacked information? You know? It's fucked, man. It's fucked out here. Fuck's sake, man. You cheated. Well, innocent until proven guilty, bro. Crick. Innocent until proven guilty. We gotta wait. We gotta wait until see what happens. You don't know if we're guilty until we get proven guilty. If we're guilty, we'll be guilty. If the Premier League have evidence to show that Manchester City are guilty of what they're saying they're going to do, we'll be guilty. I mean, we're definitely guilty of not cooperating. We already know that Manchester City didn't cooperate because they felt that this has come from hacked information, so they're not cooperating with it because they don't feel it's legitimate. And we didn't cooperate with UEFA. So we'll definitely get done for not cooperating. So we'll be guilty of that. We'll be guilty of the other stuff that they're alleging. Time will tell. If they've got the evidence to prove it, then we'll be guilty. If not, then nah. I wish people wouldn't just go for the headline. Oh, Manchester City broke 100 rules. It's such a dead thing to say, man. You know what I mean? We broke 5 rules, man. We'll take a transfer ban, to be honest. Yeah, maybe a transfer ban is something that they have at their disposal as well. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Pretty crazy. Disappointing as well. But look, the club defending themselves. The club is saying they're going to robustly defend themselves against these allegations. So, you know, what do you want me to fucking say? The club is saying that they're going to defend themselves. The club saying they're going to defend themselves. They're going to defend themselves. Obviously, they feel that they're innocent. Or they feel like they've not got this information legitimately. I don't blame City for not cooperating, man. If they feel that this investigation is a dodgy investigation. Yeah, they're not going to release a statement, is it, Zennis? They're not going to release a statement. The only statement that they'd release is Man City notes the statement released by the Premier League today. It intends to defend itself on all charges. The club will not comment further. That's all they would say. It's a fucking pointless statement to make anyway. They've made their statement via Mike Keegan. That is the statement. If you want to see Manchester City's statement, check out Mike Keegan. Mike Keegan says Man City intend to robustly defend themselves against the Premier League charges. That is what City have told Mike Keegan. So that's the statement. You know? Yeah, if they cooperate, they've got to then deal with the hacked information. They've got to then answer questions about hacked material. So, you know what I'm saying? What's the best thing to do? If they don't want to if they want to deal with hacked information, what are they going to do? They can't say, "Oh, we're going to cooperate," and then the club, and then Premier League are like, "Okay, this hacked information, what does it mean?" City be like, "We're not fucking talking to you about hacked information because it's hacked." And then they've got, you know, that's not right. I guess again, that all depends on your moral views on what do you think should be the case when you're facing charges. Do you think if you're in fucking court, yeah, do you think that they should be able to use illegally obtained evidence? You know what I mean? That's your question. That's a question for you. You got to answer that, not me. I can't tell you what to believe. That's your own moral thoughts. It's a very, very awkward situation. It's an awkward situation. Again, it puts strain on the relationship between the club and the Premier League, which is frustrating because clearly it appears that the relationship with UEFA now seems to be mendable, and it's being mended. You know, you've seen the statement between that new president of UEFA and Khaldoon, and they saying that basically, you know, we try to put this shit behind us with UEFA. So it seems UEFA are like, City and UEFA are like that now, yeah, for what it looks like. But City in the Premier League has still clearly got some friction. Yeah, exactly 55. Hacking is literally illegal. So if any of this is based on hacked info, it will and should get thrown out of court with City winning. Yeah, but Stevie T, right? You say, right, might just be for show. Prem needs to be shown, needs to be seen to punish City, even though they know it won't go anywhere. But if that's based on hacked information, surely they don't have to. Surely, if anyone questions them, they'll go, well, we can't use fucking, we can't use hacked information. Do you know what I mean? And again, I would just say, if you're a fan of a club that's not in the top 6 and you think FFP is a good thing, then you're a fucking idiot. I've got to say that, in my opinion, genuinely, because FFP is nothing more than a protectionist situation to keep the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea, United all at the top of the table. That's all it is. That's all it is. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Juventus. It's about keeping those big teams that have been in there. It's about keeping them in there. That's all it is. That's all it is. Any club should have the option of being bought by some rich Donny who comes in and starts spending money. And I think that's great for football. I'd love to see Newcastle challenging now. I want Newcastle to get top 4. Why? Because fuck the other clubs, innit? I want to see Liverpool, United, Chelsea at the top of the table all the time. It's dead. I want new owners to come in and regenerate clubs. You know what I mean? FFP, man. What the hell is FFP at? Hold on. You can use hacked information. City were cleared because the information was time barred. It's not how they got it. Yeah, no, Price at UEFA said in their report that there was no evidence of sponsors being like, you know, paying us dodgy cash. That's what it said in the report. Do you think Pep will walk out if proven guilty? Depends what happens. Depends what happens. If we get kicked out of the league, probably. You know? Big up Joseph Lee for the donation. Says, when it rains, it pours. Certainly feels like that, man. No, DJ M1, no, I agree. You do have to stay within the rules, but I'm just saying the rules are a load of shit. But I agree, you know, if the rules are there, yeah, unfortunately, you have to stay within the rules. But the rules are dead. The rules are dead. Football fans should be Football fans should be able to dream that their club's going to get bought out and challenge. You know? Even if proven innocent, the media backlash is punishment in itself. Yeah, but the media, the media don't, the media are about protecting the established clubs in this country. That's what it's all about, unfortunately. Could this affect transfers in the summer? Honestly, bro, I don't know. But all I would say is, if I was a player signing for Manchester City this summer, I would just say, look, if we get kicked out the league, then I want to be able to ditch. You know what I mean? I want to be able to dip off. So like some of the rules, right? Some of the things that they said we broke is like we've not specifically said about image rights and shit, you know? So I don't even fucking know. I just think that, listen, Man City said they're innocent. You know what I mean? Man City innocent until proven guilty. We're being charged for grass height from 2010, lol. No, that's not true, Zeno. Basically, the rules change year by year, and obviously different rules change. Apparently, that rule is actually regarding image rights. You know, and it appears 30% of all the charges appear to be for non-cooperation. Announced Man City exonerated News LB. Well, this is the thing. This is the thing. It's going to give us something to talk about now. No. We've not been charged for grass height. That's not true. That's not true. It's image rights. It's image rights. It's image rights. Well, the thing is, Reese, you probably want to win the champs. You probably want to win the champs. Because there's no investigation for the Champions League. You know, the Champions League is done. You know what I'm saying? We beat UEFA in court. I just don't see how. I just don't see, if you've managed to beat UEFA in a court, yeah, how are you not going to beat Premier League? You know what I'm saying? Gut feeling. Okay, so gut feeling is, well, it depends, because gut feeling on do I actually think we breached the rules, or gut feeling on do I think we'll end up losing. That's two different things. Obviously, we're going to get a fine. Minimum, we will be fined for not cooperating. We got a €10 million fine for not cooperating with UEFA. We've not cooperated with the Premier League for 5 years. So I would imagine that we're going to get a pretty hefty fine for non-cooperation. Right? So that's it, straight away. We didn't meet profitability and sustainability levels for 2015 to 2017 for 2 years. So basically, we breached FFP in the Premier League. So what would we get for that? We'll probably get a fine. Right? We breached UEFA regulations. Well, we already knew we breached UEFA regulations, but if you breach UEFA regulations, then you breach Premier League regulations, because the Premier League will likely have a rule in it to say you have to remain compliant with any UEFA rules, right? So because we breached UEFA, but we already knew we breached UEFA, we got done for that from UEFA. We got done and we accepted our punishment, so that's fine. So maybe a fine, Maybe a fine or a reprimand, you know what I mean? Because you've already been punished. You've already been punished by UEFA. We got punished by UEFA when they reduced the size of our squad, if some fans might remember that. So, you know, are the Premier League going to really give us a massive fine for that? So I think that's kind of nothing to worry about. The things to worry about is point 1 and point 2. About revenue, sponsorship and operating costs, as well as player contracts and manager contracts, image rights, as well as you know, salaries. But you know, it's one of them, innit? We don't know, man. We just gotta see what the club say. Let's see what the club say. Well, the club ain't gonna say shit, let's be honest. The club ain't gonna say nothing. And this is likely, you know, people are saying it's likely to take years, this now. We're not gonna have the outcome of this for years, because City will likely use every trick in the book to get themselves out of this charge, which is their right, which is entirely their right. They have the right to defend themselves in every single way possible. Ding, 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 ding. But obviously, you don't know, innit? You don't know. We'll have to wait and see. This is a crazy situation, though, and clearly a story that's going to drag on, I'm afraid, for many, many months. Some are saying years. Some are saying years. This is probably going to go to CAS. This will go to... If City get done and they get anything more than a points deduction or kicked out of the league, or if they get a points deduction or kicked out of the league, Man City will take this to CAS 100 million %. The only way they wouldn't take it to CAS is if they got fined. I think if they got fined, they'd just sign it and say, yeah, without prejudice, boom, signed, see you later. Yeah, there's no point in talking about Chelsea, man, because Chelsea found a loophole, innit? Chelsea found a loophole. Like, there ain't nothing you can do in it. Aloysius, that's not true. That's just not true. Read the report from CAS. Read the report from CAS. How am I so calm? I mean, what the fuck? What else can I do? What else can I do? I can't sit here and go, what do you want me to do? Sit here and be like, oh, fuck this club. Fuck Varane, fuck Tiki, fuck Pep, fuck Sheikh Mansour, get them all out, you know. We've not been found guilty yet. And how has this information been obtained? I'm a sit here and I'm gonna be calm. I'm gonna look at the facts of what we've been charged with. I'm gonna look at Manchester City's response, and Manchester City's response is that they're going to defend themselves robustly from these allegations. I'm not gonna, you know, jump to, oh fuck, we're getting kicked out of the league. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna jump to those sort of conclusions. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna stay calm and exactly, Salim, bro. Respect, man. Panicking's not gonna change anything. It's not gonna change shit. We gotta stay calm and see what this club now responds with. See what this club responds with. Play ratings is at 2 PM, by the way. Vazi, thanks for the donation. This season's been a nightmare of a season. So far it has. So far it has indeed. Akashit, yes, says Premier League has shit rules. City in any other country would have much more respect than in England. It just keeps changing the status quo and keeping top clubs ahead. And Wal Yudin says, we're going down with $1 billion in the bank. Well, it might be time to get that tune back out, guys. It really might. I'm not even bothered by the allegations. Premier League was always investigating us. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. We knew this was coming. We knew this day was coming. If you was up to date with what was going on, we all knew the Premier League was investigating us. We've all known that the Premier League has been investigating us for some time. So we always likely knew, look, UEFA charged us, so probably Premier League would charge us as well. The thing is now is, will City be able to defend themselves? Either by... The way I see it is they've got a couple of different defence options here. Is one, this information is likely being brought up by hacked material, and that is, as far as I'm aware, illegal in this country, so you shouldn't be able to use any of that evidence. Okay, if you don't have any of that evidence, what do you actually have? And R2, they just defend themselves because they are innocent. Like, it's up to City to decide what they're going to do. But City will have the best lawyers on the case, man. You know what I'm saying? Probably a good time to be a lawyer, you know. Big up Richard for the member chat. Says, I think the whole thing is being blown out of proportion. Talks of expulsion are crazy. It'll be a 15 points deduction at the start of next season. But I mean, if it is a 15 points deduction, Richard, that's clearly quite bad, isn't it? You know what I mean? But I agree in terms of it's being blown out of proportion in terms of there's no point in having a meltdown. What will be, will be. What, are you going to stop supporting City? Like, surely you're not going to stop supporting City. You know? It is what it is. Like, let's just see what happens, man. But this is probably going to go on for months, if not years. And it's difficult. So, Leng, that's a great question, Leng. LB and everyone, how else would you feel if it's true? That's a great question. But I need to understand... I'd need to understand what they've actually done, you know? It's difficult for me to sit here and go, oh, I'd be fucking fuming, or I'd be chill. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what they've done. I don't know what they've done. You know what I'm saying? So I've got to wait. I've got to wait to see what's happened. James is devastated. There's quite a lot of people that are pretty gutted, man. There's quite a lot of people that will be gutted, but of course, like you gotta understand, this isn't the first time. Simon Jordan, live on Talk Sports. Never beat UEFA when the Premier League took over the investigation. City were never exonerated. He got thrown out, which slowed the process down. Simon Jordan, live on Talk Sports. City never beat UEFA. The Premier League took over the investigation. City were never exonerated. He got thrown out, which slowed the process down. I fucking don't know, innit? You know what I mean? I don't know what's... The thing is, guys, these things that we're talking about right now, these are usually beyond the sort of knowledge of the fans. You know, fans will come in here, right, and fans of City and fans of other clubs will come in and say, this is what you've done, or blah, 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 or X, Y, Z, yeah? No one actually fucking knows what's going on here, right? You can read the statement and you can get a general idea, which I give you before. I give you the general idea of what they're alleging. But no one actually knows what City have done. No one actually knows to the extent of how bad City have done it. No one knows if it's true. No one knows how they obtain the information. No one actually knows. There's very little that people actually know. People will come in the chat and fans of City will say, we've done fuck all wrong. And there's fans of other teams saying, oh, you know, you're fucking cheats, kick you out of the league. Like, no one actually knows, though. I mean, which is why I'm sort of just remaining calm at this point. I'm not going to lose my shit. I'm going to stay calm. I'm going to read the report, the statement. I understand broadly what we seem to have done. However, it is very broad. You don't know the specifics. You don't know how bad it is. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, Manchester City could have put on Roberto Mancini's salary. We will pay you like a salary, X salary, yeah? But if it's not clear, then that's a breach of the rule. Well, that's clearly not that bad, but that's a breach of the rule. But you don't know how bad it is, right? That's the point. So just stay calm, relax yourselves. You know what I mean? Don't start losing your shit, because that won't get you anywhere. I promise you that now. And let's just see what happens. But now is not the time to start losing your shit, guys. It really isn't. It's going to, you know, what does that help? That doesn't help with anything, you know. So relax. Yeah, so the grass height. So basically, right, I think where people got confused here, there's a lot of people who think that one of the rules is Manchester City had the wrong grass height. I don't believe that to be true. I believe that what's actually happened there is that the rule book changed, which the rule book will change year on year, and an old rule would have been grass. However, that say it's K.20, rule 16 K.20. 1 year that was grass height, but now it's actually image rights. That's what I believe it to be. However, that could be wrong, but I don't believe that one of the charges is grass height. Grass height is a charge. Is it? Is it a charge? Where is it a charge? I just don't believe that's true. I believe that people have got, again, I believe personally that's not true. And this, you know what I mean? It's one of the silly 100. Well, the silly 100, I've got the silly 100 here, so what's the rule? Which rule have we broken that's grass height? Which is the rule? Rule K.20. Yeah, so that's fake news. It's fake news. The rule changed. For seasons 2010 and 2011, Premier League rules K12 and K20. But that's got nothing to do with grass. Guys, listen, it says there, each of the seasons, 2010 to 2015 inclusive, the Premier League rules applicable in those seasons requiring a member club to include full details of a player remuneration and its relevant contracts with its players, namely, Rule K20. They're telling you, it's nothing to do with grass, man. Fucking hell, it's to do with player remuneration and its relevant contracts with players. K20, the rule changed. It's got nothing to do with grass, guys. Promise you. Honestly, man. Just because it says K20 does not mean it's grass. They changed the rules. So then what happened is, obviously, people are looking, what people might be doing now, they might be looking at the K20 rule from today. And the K20 rule from today might be grass. But K20 back in 2010, which is what they've got to do, isn't grass. It's to do with player contracts. And if it was grass, why would they say, this includes player remuneration and relevant contract with its players, namely, Rule K20. That's got nothing to do with grass, man. Relax. Go outside and touch grass. But this is what I'm saying. I'm literally just saying. Fans will come in here, City fans and opposition fans will come in and say, oh, this is what we've done, this is what we've done. No one actually properly knows. Unless you get... I mean, the best you can do is find the rule book from every single year that we've alleged to have done something wrong and write down every single thing that the rule book says you've done in those years. I'm not going to do that because there's 100 rules that we've broken. But you won't actually be able to find the specifics of what we've done because the Premier League haven't released that. Yeah, big up Best of Fun with the donation, says, I just got here now. Why are we being charged again? What have we supposedly done this time? Okay, so let me give you an overview, guys. For people who have joined us late, let me give you an overview of what's happened. So, top line, broad, we've broken 100 rules. That sounds a lot worse than it is because there's actually only 5 things that we seemingly have done wrong here. Number 1, Manchester City have either lied about its revenue, including sponsorship revenue, and or lied about related parties, i.e. Sheikh Mansour, and or lied about its operating costs, right? So that's 1. However, that 1 accounts for about 36 of the 100. So out of the 100 things that we've done wrong, that 1 thing actually accounts for about 36 of the 100, right? Then what else have we done? The other thing that we've done is Manchester City apparently did not include full details of Roberto Mancini's salary / bonuses in its relevant contract with its manager. So what they're alleging there is, my guess on this, is that they're saying, you've been paying Roberto Mancini off the books or whatever That's what I would imagine that they're effectively saying. They're also saying that Manchester City didn't include full details of player remuneration, i.e. salary, and its relevant contracts with the players. Some of that is to do with image rights. Then they're saying you breached UEFA regulations, FFP laws back in 2013-14, up to 2018. Well, we already knew that. So that really ain't too much of an issue, in my view. I believe that's what it's to do with. Again, this is just my view and my opinion, which might be wrong. City broke FFP rules in 2015, 2017. Okay, and we did cooperate. They're the 5 things. But those 5 things amount to 100 different things. Goku with a 5 says, LB, imagine us, we win the Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League and play in the Championship next season. That would be funny, Bray. Thoughts on this? Well, imagine if we did and we got relegated to the Championship, but then we still had to play the UEFA Super Cup. So we was playing the UEFA and the Club World Cup. So we had to play the Club World Cup and the Super Cup, but was in the Championship. That would be pretty funny, man. That would be pretty funny. Ideally would like us. Ideally would like us not to be in the Championship. But hey, you know, it might be fun, I guess. Manchester City have not released a statement on this, guys. Their only statement has come through Mike Keegan. And Manchester City say that they intend to robustly defend themselves against all Premier League charges. Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. Oh wow, guys, we've got some big fucking news. We got some big news. Big news. Big fucking news. Whoa. Hold the phone. Oh shit. Guys, this is big news. Manchester City latest. Under Premier League rules, the club will not be able to appeal any sanction to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS, which overturned the UEFA ban. That is big. That is quite big. That is quite a big thing, guys. That is quite a big thing. Wow. What does that mean then? Okay, so what you got to understand is, effectively, whatever the Premier League Commission, who are going to look at this decision, who are going to look at this charge and decide what the punishment is, whatever the punishment is, that's final. It appears that Manchester City will not be able to do anything about this. Whatever the outcome is, that's it. There ain't no running to the courts. There ain't no running to the courts. If we get kicked out the league, we kicked out the league. If we get a points deduction, we get a points deduction. This for me right here is probably the biggest thing of the day. Because this really, now City have one chance now. City have one chance to get this right. There's also no time barring allowed. So City cannot use the defence of, oh, this happened 10 years ago. Like, that's outside of time scale. That's not a defence you can use with the Premier League. They do not have the option to take this to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Why that's the case, I don't know. I'm going to try and find out. I'm going to try and find out why that's the case. Why are Manchester City not allowed to take this to CAS? What's the reason? Why can't you take it to CAS? Why are you not allowed to take it to the Court of Arbitration for Sport? I don't know what the reason is for that. Are we allowed to take it to actual court? See, this is the thing. This is the thing, right? I don't know. Obviously, City can defend themselves and they can put forward their opinions, but I can't lie. It appears to me that they kind of got us over a barrel here, the Premier League. If you're not allowed to take this to a Court of Arbitration for Sport, which I think is ridiculous, but I don't know the reason why. There might be a reason that makes me go, okay, that seems reasonable, but it doesn't seem reasonable. I mean, I think they've got us over a barrel. Are you allowed to go to actual court? I mean, I don't know. Are you allowed to go to court? Surely you can take to court. I don't know, innit? Yes, I don't know. Why are we not allowed to go to CAS, man? Why are we not allowed to go to CAS? What's the reason there? What is the reason that we cannot go to CAS? Because for me, that's bad. That's bad. Okay, so maybe we could go to a different independent commission. So say we get charged by the Premier League, maybe we could go to a different commission. Yeah, so you could always go to a different commission. So whether it would be an arbitrator, whether it would be a court, I don't know. But surely there's something that we can do about that if we do get charged, which of course hasn't happened yet. If we do get punished, which hasn't, we have been charged, we've not been punished yet. Crazy. Anthony Gaming, thanks for the dollars, bro. It says, why is this happening to us for? I went through it a few minutes ago, bro, regarding everything that we've been done. But you can see it on the Premier League website if you want to take another look. What we've done now, it won't be no more Man City. Well, you know, we'll have to see, innit? We'll have to see. We'll have to see what the punishment is. But we're not allowed to go to CAS, which for me is a little bit disappointing, I suppose. This is fucking crazy, man. It's absolutely insane. I can't believe it. Oh, sky's the limit. He needs a small cut break. Oh. Right, Caldoon, it's time to earn the cash, Bray. Get the best lawyers in town. I'm going to go around Manchester now, having a walk around, knocking on all solicitors' doors. Can you help us, please? Can you help my football club, please? Yeah, Man City will not be able to appeal to any sanction to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, which overturned the UEFA ban. That's a little bit disappointing, I can't lie. They really don't like us, says Cricky, with a 2. Yeah, it certainly appears like that, Bray. Man, what a morning, eh? What a morning. Right, well, how are we going to focus for the rest of the season? You just got to focus, bro. At the end of the day, it is what it is, you know. Shouldn't really affect the players. The players are not in the boardroom, and by the time this thing gets settled, which some people are saying years, most of these players won't be at the club anyway. So I would just say to the players, it's got nothing to do with you. It is what it is. Right, player ratings in 2 hours. We got the player rating stream, so join us for that one. GL75 says people talking about the title being taken away. A fair amount of these charges are from when we were crap with Hughes and the start of Mancini, for fuck's sake, say. Well, no one said, Sam, that like no one in Twitter, like none of the guys who are reporting on this have said that stripping of titles is an option. No one said that. So I think you're right, bro. I think the only thing they can do is fine, reprimand, points deduction, and kick us out of the league. But there's nothing to say that they can take our titles away from us. See you all in National League. Yeah, see you in National League, bro. It's time to start the big fight back, innit? Right, cool. I'm going to end it. That's where you're at. We'll be back in 2 hours for the player ratings from yesterday. So join us for that one. That'll be an interesting stream as well. Fucking hell. Can we have some good news, please? You know what I mean? There's some transfer speculation will be released in the next 48 hours to calm everyone's nerves. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you in 2 hours' time, guys. See you later. Hold the phone, don't go anywhere, don't go anywhere. We got some news, Manchester City have released a statement. That was nicely timed, City. Were you just waiting for me to end the stream? Well, good, guess what, didn't end it, so in the mud. Right, chat, we got news, man. We got news, we have a statement. We're back, we didn't go anywhere. Everyone who left then, they're not going to see this now. They're not going to see this. This is the statement. Manchester City Football Club is surprised by the issuing of these alleged breaches of Premier League rules, particularly given the extensive engagement and vast amount of detailed materials that the English Premier League has been provided with. The club welcomes the review of this matter by an independent commission to impartially consider the comprehensive body of irrefutable evidence that exists in support of its position. As such, we look forward to this matter being put to rest once and for all. So, I've got to say, I was wrong. City have not come out with a dead statement. Man City have come out with a big statement. The thing that I'm interested with here, you know when they say the second paragraph here, yeah? Yeah, let me get this up on screen. Let me get this up on screen. Right, here we go. Right, let me bin that off. Let me get this up. Right, that's the statement, yeah? Let me go over here. So that's the statement, chat. I don't know if you can see it. I can maybe make it a bit bigger. If I go over here, right? Over like that. That's the statement. Do you know this bit here, right? I'm asking you now, innit? Because obviously I'm dealing with this, but I don't know what the fuck's going on either. Look at this comment here, right? This the second paragraph. The club welcomes the... Let me get rid of this tune, man. We need to dial ourselves in now, chat. The club welcomes the review of this matter by an independent commission to impartially consider the comprehensive body of irrefutable evidence that exists in support of its position. I guess it's talking about its own position and not the Premier League's position. Is it saying... Are they having a dig at the Premier League, saying, we can't wait for the independent commission to see the irrefutable evidence you have about what you're saying we've done? Or are they saying they can't wait for the independent commission to see the evidence that we have? Because it says its position. What it? Are you talking about yourself? Are you talking about yourself there? Are you talking about the Premier League? Support its position. What's position? The club. Oh, you're talking about the club. The club welcomes the review. Right, okay, so the club... Right, so, here you go. The club are saying that they have irrefutable evidence that supports its position. So, there you go. You know what I mean? Relax yourself. Manchester City have irrefutable evidence that supports its decision. Nothing to worry about. We're getting not guilty, innit? Not guilty. Wal Yudin says, Khaldoon, the Thanos of the Premier League. Bro, the club say they have irrefutable evidence. That's what they're telling us. If they're telling me they have irrefutable evidence, then they have irrefutable evidence. I ain't got nothing to worry about. Either, because, you know, what's going on there? Have they got irrefutable evidence or not? If you have irrefutable evidence, then you cannot get found guilty because you've got irrefutable evidence. You're telling me, yeah? You want me to Google what irrefutable means? Irrefutable. Impossible to deny or disprove. Chat, that's what City is saying. That's what City is saying, man. That's not me saying it, that's what City is saying. City is saying they've got irrefutable evidence. Look. Look at that. Impossible to deny or disprove. I'm going to put that right there on screen, man. So you can see it for yourself. So to answer the question, should you be worried? Based on what Manchester City are telling me, no. Why should I be worried? They're telling me they've got evidence which will be impossible to deny or disprove. If Manchester City is saying they've got evidence which is impossible to deny or disprove, why should we be worried? It's chilling. Do you know what I'm saying? My club is clear, City till I die, that's it, my club is innocent, man. Fucking innocent project out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've done nothing wrong. My club has irrefutable evidence. Irrefutable Xtra. W's in the chat, man. Is that the official statement? Yeah, that is the official statement. That is the official statement. Still scared? Well, I mean, you're still concerned. Clearly you're concerned because if you've got irrefutable evidence, then why has it got to this stage? But you've also charged us for not cooperating. So maybe City didn't cooperate and now we'll give the irrefutable evidence. Maybe City just didn't want to give the irrefutable evidence to the Premier League. One thing that that's one thing that I would kind of like to know. Have you given the irrefutable evidence to the Premier League? Because if you have, why has it got to this stage if you're calling it irrefutable? You can call it strong evidence, you can call it sick evidence, you can call it whatever you want. But you can't call it irrefutable if you've given it to the Premier League and they've gone, nah lads, you've still done it. Here's your driller. You know what I mean? Because otherwise it's not irrefutable as per the definition there. All this will probably take years to resolve. Basically, we're on borrowed time to win the Champions League. Then we should abandon the Premier League and join the Super League. Either that, man, or we just go Scotland, innit? You know what I mean? Let's go Scotland. Let's go Scottish League. Scotland, will you have us? Will you have us in Scotland? We'll come true, innit? Irrefutable, man. Irrefutable. That's what we're talking about right now. Irrefutable is a very, very strong word, chat. It's a very, very strong word. That is a strong word. You can't use that if it's not true. You know? What a crazy day, eh? What a crazy day. Absolutely insane. Inshallah, everything will be okay, Goku. Yeah, bro, I back that, bro. I back that, innit? Right, I'm going to ask a couple of questions. Okay, first of all, do you think Manchester City are guilty of all charges? Only vote yes if you think We have done everything that they've said we've done. Even with Man City saying they have irrefutable evidence. Let me know in the chat. Could be quite interesting. Review of the matter by who, says Abattoirville. So it's by an independent commission. It will be held in private, and we will only find out the outcome once they release the statement at the end. What a crazy, crazy, crazy situation we find ourselves in this Monday morning. This is a banger tune, you know. It really is a top quality tune. 73% of people so far say Manchester City are not guilty of all charges. Mate, I've got way too many tabs open, man. Does anyone else just end up opening like 100 million Google Chrome tabs? Because that's exactly what I've done. Do, 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 do. 76% of people saying no. Man City are not guilty of all charges. Right, okay, so now I'm going to do another poll. And this is the big one. Predicted outcome. Predicted outcome. Guys, what do you think is going to be the predicted outcome? Do you think nothing will happen? That we'll get away with it? Get away with it / be proven innocent? Do you think we'll be fined? Do you think we'll get a points deduction? Or do you think we'll get kicked out of the Premier League? Let us know, innit? I've just got way too much shit open right now. I have to close everything. I'm closing everything. There we go. Do 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 do. Keep voting, guys. It's 800 people in the stream. We've only had 200 votes, though. Keep voting, and we'll check it out. We'll check it out. Right, one sec, guys. Right, let's have a look at this poll then. Right, so predicted outcome. 20% of people saying nothing. I don't think that'll happen. I don't think nothing will happen. I think we will 100% get something. And I think 42% of people in the chat say fine. I would agree with that. I think we probably get a fine. 28% of people think points deduction. So that's quite a lot, really. That is quite a lot. And then 10% of people in the chat think we're going to be kicked out of the league. That ain't great, innit? So, because what you have to do, guys, you have to find the rules for 2011, and it's difficult to find the rules for 2011. And like 29, you know, 2009 and shit, you know? Do, 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 do. Try to find the rule book, man. But it's hard, man. It's hard out here to find. Where's the fucking rule book, mate? See, this would really help if we had the rule book for 2009, 2010. You could see exactly what the rules were. But you see, you can't. It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. Yeah, I agree with the 42% of people in the chat, man. I agree with 42% of people. It's called Premier League Handbook. Yeah, no. But you've got to, what you've got to do, right? This is why people are getting confused about the grass. Yeah. You got to find. So you basically, right? So we've been charged, right? So if you go to that K20, yeah. That K20 charge was in 2010, 2011. So you've got to find the rule book for 2010, 2011, and then find out what rule K20 was. Because the rule K20 then would have been different to rule K20 today. That's why people are getting confused. That's why people are saying we've been charged with grass. Prodigal Fraudson says LB Juve lost its titles. Will City lose it too? I don't think we'll lose titles, bro. I don't think that will happen, man. Premier League Handbook, 2010. PDF. Nah, mate, it's just not available, innit? It's not there. The Premier League is like, nah, we don't give you this shit anymore. Like, you should be able to find the rules, innit, you know? Premier League rules. Premier League rules, K10. Premier League rules. Google's falling off, man. I remember back in the day when Google used to be the GOAT, yeah. I can't wait till GPT just takes over everything, man, and Google's finished. It doesn't give you what you want no more. Down. Premier League rule book. Right, here we go. Down. Right, e-paper read. Yeah, we might have it here. Oh, we could have it here, chat. I think I found it. Rule K20, yeah? Where's K20 at? Where is K20 at? Yeah, K20. If I go search K.20. It's searching. We're searching a document. It's 500 pages long, man. It's 500 pages long. We're out here. We're out here trying to help save the club, man. So what year was this? 10, 11. 10, 11. So this is the right handbook. So now we need to find out where K20 is. Right, that's rule Q. Right, we need to go back, innit? We're at Q there. Where's K20 at? Come on, man. Fucking hell, mate. It's a lot of rules. No wonder we fucking breach some of the rules. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Right, so it's way too far forward there, bro. You need to go back, innit? We're at S. Right, we're at C. Mate, this is like ridiculous. How are we meant to find K20 in this at all? I'm gonna go to the contents bit, yeah. Rules, blue. Right, we need to go to blue. Right, where's blue at? Is that blue? Is that green? Is that blue or green? The fuck? Right, there's a lot of rules. There's a shit ton of rules. Right, rules. Here we go. Section K. Found it. 146. Right, we need to go to page 146, man. 146. Oh, we need to keep going. Oh, we need to go back a bit. Chat, we almost found it, man. Right, 146. K20. We need K20. It's due to image contract. So this thing about the grass. The thing is with the grass, yeah, it's not true. K20 is image contracts. Particulars of any image contract payment in respect of the player shall be set out in the contract with the club. So that's what it's actually about. That's what K20 is about. Yeah, it's image rights. It's image rights. There we go. Boom. So that's K20. So the grass ain't a thing. K12. What's K12? K12 is full details of a player's remuneration, including all benefits to which he's entitled to, whether in cash or in kind, shall be set out in his contract. So, I've literally got the whole fucking thing here. So basically, they're saying that in certain players' contracts, we didn't put full details of everything that they'd get paid. By the way, Control F didn't work because it's not. Control F didn't work. That's mad, man. That's crazy, innit? I can't believe it, man. I can't fucking believe that this club's getting fucking bummed out the league. That's pretty crazy, man. That's pretty crazy. Oh, are you looking forward to seeing Vincent Kompany's Burnley against City next year? Yeah, what? In the Championship? Yeah, the 2023 handbook K20 is grass. You know what I mean? I don't know why people thought it would be grass anyway. Because it is. It's in the handbook. Yeah, it's in the handbook for this year, bro. It's in the handbook for this year, innit? But people need to look at not this year's handbook. That's the thing. People looking at the wrong year. Not easy to overturn the worst consequences. Well, we've got to see in it. The club say they have irrefutable evidence as per the screen. So, do you think this would lead to a serious issue? Says Yusuf. Possibly, bro. You don't know, innit? The thing is, we don't know what we've done wrong, man. We don't know what we've done wrong. Yeah, that's it. You got to read the rule book from when you was accused, not now. So it's in the bin, yeah. Irrefutable evidence. We have irrefutable evidence. I'll be interested to see if that irrefutable evidence is irrefutable. Because if it is irrefutable, then we've got the dub in it, boys. Irrefutable blues. The irrefutable blues. We're fucking getting off on this, man. We're getting off. We ain't getting guilty, mate. We're getting not guilty, innit? We're getting not guilty. We're getting not guilty, man. The irrefutable blues. We're gonna be saved by the evidence. The evidence will chill. Will prove us innocent. It doesn't say City have irrefutable evidence, Michael. It doesn't say City have irrefutable evidence. It says the club welcomes the review of this matter by an independent commission to impartially consider the comprehensive body of irrefutable evidence. What do you mean it doesn't say we have irrefutable evidence? It says it there. It says it on the screen. It literally says it, bro, on the screen. It says we have irrefutable evidence. Sleepy Sun says Man City's 100% clean. See, yeah, but this is what I said, Michael, of its position. But you say they're talking about the Premier League's evidence, right? So you're saying they're having a little bit of a dig at the club. But no, it says the club welcomes the review of this matter. So the club is talking about itself in third person. The club welcomes the review of this matter by an independent commission to impartially consider the comprehensive body of irrefutable evidence that exists in support of its position. So for me, because they started it off by saying the club, they're talking about themselves in third person, man. You know what I mean? They're playing Ghost Recon out here. Third person driller. That's what they're doing. The club welcomed. They're talking about themselves in third person. So for me, when it says to impartially consider comprehensive body of irrefutable evidence that exists in support of its position, that in my opinion is talking about their City's evidence, because they're talking about themselves. That's how they start the paragraph off. I think you're wrong there, Michael. I think you're wrong. I don't think they're talking about they're talking about the Premier League's evidence. I think they're talking about its own evidence. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense. Otherwise, the statement would be, Manchester City welcomes the review of the matter by an independent commission to impartially consider the comprehensive body of irrefutable evidence put forward by the Premier League. That's what they'd say. They wouldn't say what they've said. Also, why would you say that? Why would you say, yeah, we're going to have a look at the irrefutable evidence that the Premier League has? That makes absolutely no sense, because you're saying that the Premier League has evidence that you can't rebuttal on, because you're saying that they've got irrefutable evidence. So I think you might be wrong there, bro. Reread it again and let me know if you still disagree. Off Meta with a 5 says both City and the Premier League will give their evidence to an independent commission, like a jury, and they will decide guilty or not guilty. Correct. Nick Toll says the allegations keep happening if we have evidence. That's not I don't know, bro. I don't know, innit? In support. I don't know what you're saying, Chris. LB, think about it. Do you think City would be this dumb to mess up this bad? I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. That's it, Superbia. Superbia, you're with me, innit? I agree. The words irrefutable evidence are very, very strong from City. They're very, very strong from City. What about if we get relegated but win the Champions League? that'd be some mad situation, man. Well, Mason, that's a really good comment, and I've seen a few fans on Twitter saying, how is this going to affect the atmosphere at games? You know what I mean? Because yet again, it's just more negative shit. And the fans going to be able to put this to one side and really get behind the team. It could be tricky, man. Modern day witch hunt, I swear, says Ropey Dope. That's what it seems, man. It certainly seems that way. It just seems like they're never going to stop. They're never, ever, 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 ever going to stop coming for us until one day they get us on a fucking technicality, you know what I mean? Like maybe some fucking grass being too long, you know? Going to be interesting to see what happens with this one, guys. Right, I'm actually going to get off now. There you go. That's your update for today. We'll be back in an hour. We've got the player ratings, more fun news. But yeah, that's where we're up to. Manchester City charged by the Premier League with 100 different offences covering 5 different major situations. Talking about revenue, sponsorships, player contracts, and non-cooperation makes up 30% of all charges. Manchester City not cooperating with the Premier League. So that's where we're at the moment. See you in an hour. Back with the player ratings. Peace out, people.